The love that survived us. They fell in love before they understood what love could cost. Ada loved with her whole soul, careless, deep, and honest. Ton loved quietly, protective, afraid, always holding back tears he never learned how to show. They were young, and love felt endless. Under a sky full of stars they promised forever, believing promises were strong enough to defeat distance. Then distance arrived. When Ton left for the city, Ada told herself she was strong enough to wait. But loneliness has a way of whispering lies to the heart. Days grew quiet. His voice felt farther away. She began to feel invisible. Then someone else noticed her. He listened. He stayed. He filled the silence Ton unknowingly left behind. Ada hated herself for how comforting that felt. She cried the first time she crossed the line, but she did not turn back. Guilt came quickly, heavy and cruel. Ton felt the change before he heard the truth. Her replies were slower. Her laughter sounded forced. His heart sensed abandonment before his mind accepted it. So he hardened himself. He let another girl hold his hand, not because it healed him, but because it distracted him from the ache of missing Ada. Every smile he gave that girl felt like a betrayal, yet he continued, afraid to be the only one hurting. When they finally met again, love and guilt stood between them. Silence followed. Two hearts breaking not because they stopped loving each other, but because they never stopped. They realized then that love had not left. Trust had. They parted that day with shaking hands and swollen eyes, carrying a pain no one else would ever understand. They lost each other not to hatred, but to fear, loneliness, and pride. Years passed. Ada would still feel a lump in her throat whenever she heard his name. Ton would still wonder what their life might have been if honesty had spoken before betrayal. Their first love did not end loudly. It ended quietly, painfully, and forever lived inside them. Because first love doesn't just teach you how to love, it teaches you how deeply love can hurt. But love was not finished with them. Time softened what anger could not. When they met again, older and braver, they realized something painful and beautiful at the same time. They were not bad people, they were young people who didn't know how to protect love. Forgiveness did not come easily. It came slowly, through tears, long silences, and honesty they should have shared earlier. Ada forgave Ton. Ton forgave Ada. And most importantly, they forgave themselves. They did not rush back into love. They rebuilt it carefully, learning new words for trust, patience, and truth. Some scars remained, but they no longer bled. Their love changed, not as innocent as before, but stronger. Because forgiveness did not erase the pain. It transformed it. Years later, they stood at the altar after they almost lost each other. Ada looked at Ton and remembered the versions of themselves that once broke under the weight of distance and fear. Ton looked back and saw not just the woman he loved, but the girl who taught him how fragile love could be, and how strong it becomes when forgiven. Their first love had failed because they were young. Their second chance worked because they had grown. Marriage did not begin for them in perfection. It began in honesty. They spoke about the past, not to reopen wounds, but to honor the scars that shaped them. Betrayals that once tore them apart became lessons they carried gently, like fragile glass they refused to drop again. Ada learned to speak when she felt lonely instead of seeking comfort elsewhere. Ton learned to listen instead of hiding behind pride and silence. There were moments when old fears tried to return, late nights, unanswered calls, but this time they chose conversation over assumptions, patience over anger. Forgiveness became their daily vow. They did not promise never to hurt each other. They promised to never stop choosing each other when hurt appeared. Love matured in their home, not loud, not perfect, but steady. The kind of love that grows from understanding, not illusion. The kind that survives storms because it once nearly drowned. On quiet evenings, Ada would watch Ton sleeping and thank God for a love that didn't end when it was tested. Ton would hold her hand and know that forgiveness had given them a second beginning. Their marriage was not built on a flawless past. It was built on grace. And in that grace, their first love finally found a home, the love that survived us.